Richard Dawkins' The God Delusion aims to debunk religious beliefs, presenting them as scientifically untenable and socially harmful. Dawkins, a celebrated biologist, steps into the realm of philosophy and religion, arguing against the existence of God and criticizing the role of religion in society. However, this transition from biology to philosophy exposes him to criticism for his approach, methodology, and understanding of religion and philosophy. Critics argue that Dawkins adopts a superficial approach to complex theological and philosophical issues. His reliance on popular literature and avoidance of serious engagement with foundational texts in philosophy and theology is seen as a significant weakness. Dawkins's discussions on the existence of God and religion's role in society lack the depth and consideration of counter-arguments found in the works of philosophers like Kant, Descartes, or Schopenhauer. Instead, Dawkins presents religious beliefs in a simplistic manner, often targeting the most extreme and fundamentalist views, which does not represent the entire spectrum of religious thought and practice. Dawkins's critique of religion is also seen as biased, particularly his focus on Christianity and his portrayal of God as understood by Christian fundamentalists. This selective criticism fails to address the diverse and complex nature of religious belief and practice worldwide. The critique extends to Dawkins's understanding of morality, challenging his assertion that moral behavior can exist independently of religious belief. Critics argue that Dawkins underestimates the historical and cultural role of religion in developing moral systems and ethical behavior. The God Delusion is also criticized for its perceived arrogance and dismissive tone towards religious believers. Dawkins is accused of not genuinely engaging with the arguments for the existence of God or the nuanced reasons people have for their faith. Instead, he often resorts to ridicule and strawman arguments, weakening his critique. The document critiques Dawkins for his failure to appreciate the philosophical and theological discussions on the nature of God and the arguments for God's existence. By ignoring or simplifying these discussions, Dawkins misses the opportunity to engage with religion in a meaningful and respectful way. Furthermore, the critique points out that Dawkins's understanding of the role of religion in history and society is limited. He attributes violence and conflict solely to religious motivations, overlooking the complex socio-political and economic factors that also play crucial roles. Dawkins's argument that a world without religion would be more peaceful and rational is contested. Critics argue that removing religion would not eliminate human tendencies towards conflict, violence, or irrationality. Historical examples, such as the actions of explicitly atheistic regimes or conflicts driven by non-religious ideologies, demonstrate that the capacity for violence is not exclusive to religious societies. Nazi Germany, under the leadership of Adolf Hitler, perpetrated the Holocaust, the systematic murder of 6 million Jews, along with millions of others deemed undesirable. This genocide was driven by a perverted ideology of racial purity and superiority, rather than religious conviction. Stalin's Soviet Union was marked by widespread purges, forced labor camps, and the repression of millions, actions justified by a commitment to communist ideology and the consolidation of power, rather than any religious doctrine. In fact, Stalin's regime was explicitly atheistic, promoting state atheism and suppressing religious institutions. North Korea, under the Kim dynasty, has created an almost deified leadership cult around its rulers, while maintaining a stringent policy of state atheism. The regime's human rights abuses, including political prison camps, strict censorship, and the suppression of any form of dissent, are justified by the state's ideology, rather than religious belief. The critique also addresses the implications of Dawkins's views on morality without God. By arguing that morality is a product of evolution and social contracts rather than divine command, Dawkins opens up a discussion on the origins and nature of moral behavior. Critics challenge his view by arguing that religious beliefs have historically provided a foundation for moral values and community cohesion. They suggest that Dawkins underestimates the contribution of religion to moral development and the complexity of moral philosophy. In conclusion, the critique of the God Delusion presents a comprehensive challenge to Dawkins's arguments against religion and his portrayal of faith and morality. While Dawkins raises important questions about religion and its role in society, his approach is seen as lacking the depth, respect, and understanding necessary for a productive dialogue on these complex issues. The critique calls for a more nuanced and empathetic engagement with religious beliefs, and an acknowledgement of the positive roles religion has played in individual lives and society at large.